I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody's been asking me, and I have a feeling I'm supposed to like say it on my channel. This is very weird. I don't think about this. I maybe thought about it like 3 or 4 times in my life. When I was very young, I think between the ages of like 3 and 5, my family lived. It was me, my mother, my stepfather, and my sister. My mother was pregnant with my sister, and like she was just about to have my sister and also pregnant. I think she was pregnant with her when we moved in, and then my stepfather was working as a postman, and he was doing like professional bull riding competitions, and anyway, we lived in this house in Camarillo, and it was on a corner property, and there was if you're facing the house, and the house was like, I think like a gray wood, like slate, not I don't think it was, I think it was wood, like the wood tiling stuff, like wood, what do they call it, shingles on the roof, and I think the house was white, or like eggshell white, and if you're facing away from the house, the beach would have been like a couple blocks to your left, and there was a cul-de-sac to your left, and I think there was a cul-de-sac to your right too, but I'm pretty sure you could go through if you went forward, like on the street. We lived where the street, I don't remember the name of the street, but the street was, if you're facing away from the house, like with your back to the garage, is to your right hand side. And like I said, it was a corner property, and the sidewalk like sloped down. It wasn't like a corner, it was like a sloping corner. And if you're facing the house, to your left was a grove of trees, like in the kind of corner of the property, and like it would have been like the backyard came out, and the stone wall that we had, enclosing our backyard was there. And as far as I remember, the stone wall was like it wasn't a stone wall, but I think it might have been brick, but it definitely had like a brick top, like the bricks laid out on top. And then but one day I remember I was out there playing, and I believe my little sister had been born, and I was out there playing, and who's asking me this? This is weird. I was out there playing, and I saw a suitcase, like a rectangle suitcase with like the rounded corners with zippers, and you could see that the suitcase was like, had a plastic bag in it, and it was big. It was a big, it was a big suitcase, like I don't know, like 3 feet, 3.5 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet long by maybe like 1.5 feet wide. And I was out there playing one day, and I don't remember if I discovered it or if my mom did or what the deal was. I don't remember exactly, but I think my mom did. I'm pretty sure my mother did. And but you could see like a black, like a black trash bag had been zipped up in the zipper, so it was like protruding from the edges of where's my hair thing? It was protruding from the edges of the zipper, like somebody had done it like hastily, but I remember my mom, like my stepfather, like my mom telling my stepfather to call the sheriff, because when we, where we lived in Camarillo, there wasn't any police. It wasn't like I don't think it was an incorporated city yet. I think it was just like a unincorporated area. It was really rural. And if you went, sorry about the suitcase, stay on the suitcase. So, and I think it was black, maybe with brown, like piping around the edge. I'm just seeing it. And I think there were like, I don't think they were eucalyptus trees. I think they might have been pepper trees or something with some kind of berry on them. Because it always, like all this stuff would fall. But they had like really slender leaves, like really small, like slender leaves, and a lot of them. And they stayed green, I think, year round. I don't remember them changing color. And they were very tall trees, like a lot of them. And anyway, I remember my mother trying to talk my stepfather into calling the sheriff's department, and I remember him not wanting to, something like that. I remember they argued a lot when I was younger. I used to take my younger sister. I had a lot of ear problems when I was a kid, and I had custom-made earplugs for like swimming and like showering. I wore them for showers, but they were like, they like closed off my whole ear. It wasn't like something I put in my ear. It was like a whole mold on the outer part of my ear. And I was so small. I used to take my younger sister into the closet in that house and hide with both of us. And our closet had, or my closet in my room had the really cheap wooden like slats, like slatted, doors. They're like, really flimsy. I think it might have been like accordion doors. Yeah. And I think it was like 2 doors that like opened outward towards the bedroom, towards like where my bed was. And that front bedroom was mine. And there was a window that was like high up. And it wasn't just because I was a kid, like it was higher up. Like it would probably be like chest level on me now. And like I couldn't see through it when I was standing. I had to get up on the bed to see through the window. But through this window I could see the edge of the grove of trees. It was to the right. And I don't remember the name of the street. But this suitcase, I remember going outside and looking at it, like not closely. I didn't want to get close to it. I did not want to get close to the suitcase. Like there was something about this suitcase. It was just really wrong, like bad, altogether bad. And I remember my stepfather telling us at dinner that this suitcase was really heavy and that it smelled bad. And I remember telling my mom I thought it was a small child in there. That's what I remember. And let's see. I don't remember the name of the street. It was in Camarillo, California. And I think the freeway was, and like the beach, like if you were trying to find the ocean, it was, if you're facing away from the house towards the, with the 2 cul-de-sacs on your left and on your right, all the way to the left, there's like the freeway, and there's a big grove of trees, like a big wall of trees, eucalyptus trees that block, I think they put them up there to block the wind from the neighborhoods, and also to kind of trap some of the freeway dust. I'm gonna roll another cigarette. And but it was like, it was right there, like you could see that grove of trees from there. I don't think you could hear the freeway from where we were. I don't remember that. I don't remember hearing it. But there was a park. If you went out to the corner, and you went up the street, it was like up the street and like diagonal. There was a park, and this park had submerged rocks, like big rocks, like, like about that big, submerged in cement, and like bridges all throughout this whole park. And I remember that specifically. I mean, I remember a lot of specific things, but I could never forget that. I still have a scar on my chin from when my stepfather was teaching me to ride my bike, and because I knew how to ride horses before I knew how to ride a bike. And he and I were riding one day, and there was a girl and her grandmother, I think, was walking towards us, and they didn't move, so I veered off the path and landed on my bike and on the cement, and busted my chin open on one of the rocks that was, kind of like cemented into this. They were like halfway sticking out, and there were like apartments down there. I remember those, like vaguely, but I remember it. There used to be somebody in those apartments that we visited, or maybe it was somebody that I was like a friend of my mom's or something, a friend from church. I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody that we knew, or that my mother knew. We used to go over there. It wasn't somebody I don't think my stepfather knew about this person, but like they didn't know. Or it might have been my stepfather and I used to go visit this person. I don't remember, honestly. But either way, with one, and it was one of my parents, it wasn't both. And there was a little girl who lived, we were friends, and her name was Julie, and she had a brother. I think she was older than us by like a year or two, which is like a lot when you're a little kid. And one day this little boy threw a play pool cue. It was like plastic, but it had the tip on it, you know, the cue, and threw it into this grove of trees. This is separate from the suitcase thing. And it ricocheted off the fucking trees and bounced back and hit my sister in the cheek. That's why she has one of the dimples that she has. It's like it's a deep dimple. It's actually a scar. And this pool cue, this fucking kid threw this pool cue and it ricocheted off the trees and bounced back and hit my sister in the face, went right through her cheek. I was so upset about that. I remember telling my mom that I was gonna kill that little kid. This was like my friend Julie's brother, and kneeling down, like my sister's blood was on the driveway. It was like a cement slab driveway with like two big, yeah, it was a 2-car garage. It was definitely a 2-car garage. Who's asking me this? Anyway, I don't know who needs to hear this. I have no idea what this is even really about. It's something about the suitcase, though. That's the important part. I don't know. And kneeling at my sister's blood and like crying and praying to God that she was okay. I remember that clearly. Clearly, 12:21 on the timer, like really clearly I remember that. And just praying that she would be okay. And she was very young. I think she might have been like a year old. She was very young, which would have made me 5 years old. Yeah. I think we were like, she couldn't have been any more than 2 years old when we left that house, because our stepfather left us when I was barely 6 years old. I was barely 6 years old, barely. We moved back here to Santa Barbara, after bouncing all over the place for a while. Yeah, we lived in a house on Maria Street, Marilla, I think. Yeah, years ago, long time ago. And I think we lived there till I was like 8, and then we moved to a place anyway. I don't know who needs to hear this. I don't know why this is important. I don't know why I'm supposed to be talking about this, but there you go. It was, I don't remember the name of the street. I could show it to you, you know, if I went there. I tried to find the house a while ago, but I remember I went down to Camarillo. I was driving back from Los Angeles with Bella in the car I had before this one, and I couldn't find it. It was the weirdest thing. I was like confused. Anyway, it was strange. It was a strange experience. Of course, a lot of shit was going on at that time. Being stalked and all that. The gang stalking was like at its height then. Oh my God. For me anyway. And I was very like, not okay. You know, I was not okay after losing my younger brother and everything. I was not okay. And, you know, living in the car that I was living in, there was no tint on the window. I had zero privacy anywhere I went. It was horrible. And no heat, no fucking AC, nothing at all. The fan in the car didn't even work. But I don't know who needed to hear that. I don't know why, but there you go. That's the information. I don't remember Julie's brother's name. I don't remember her brother's name. But yeah, she had a brother. I think she was older than me. I don't think she didn't go to the school I went to. We were friends because we were neighbors. Confirmation of what? I don't know. But yeah, that's that. This house had like really high, like vaulted ceilings, like that came to like an arch at the top, and they were really wide too. They were really tall and really wide, and it didn't just seem that way because I was a kid. Like they were tall ceilings, like throughout I think most of the house, like especially the hallways, or the main hallway that like had bedrooms branching off of it. And I remember that specifically because that was the first time I saw what I would describe as an angel in the hallway. And yeah. And I remember, you know, like as a child, even though I was, you know, I was still a little kid, my you know, my arm span, I could put my both arms out. Ooh, confirmation. I put my arms out in this hallway and I couldn't reach. It was like 2 arm spans I could have reached one wall, both walls, you know, with one arm, you know, an arm on each wall. And it had really tall ceilings and that really wide hallway, and the foyer. God, spirit. But the foyer, I remember it was like a large foyer that led into like, it had steps. Yeah, it had steps, like 2 or 3 steps when you walked in the front door. And we had a sliding glass door too in the front room. Anyway, and in the backyard there was, by that wall, that really tall wall, like 6 to 8 feet tall wall, there was a fig tree in the backyard, like right next to the wall. It wasn't like in the middle of the yard or anything, it was next to the wall. So anyway, I don't know who needed to hear that, but there you go.